Reading and understanding the Bible is a journey that millions have embarked upon throughout history. For some, it is a spiritual quest. For others, a search for wisdom, history, or literary beauty. Whatever your reason, approaching the Bible thoughtfully can be deeply rewarding. This guide will walk you through the steps and strategies to help you read and truly understand the Bible, regardless of your background or experience. To begin, it is important to recognize that the Bible is not a single book, but a library of books. It is a collection of writings spanning centuries, composed by many different authors, in various literary styles, and for diverse audiences. The Bible is generally divided into two main sections: the Old Testament, which contains texts central to Judaism, and the New Testament, which focuses on the life and teachings of Jesus and the early Christian church. Within these sections you will find history, poetry, law, prophecy, wisdom literature, letters, and apocalyptic visions. Before you open the Bible, consider your purpose. Are you reading for spiritual insight, historical understanding, literary appreciation, or personal growth? Your purpose will shape your approach. Some read the Bible devotionally, seeking inspiration and guidance. Others read it academically, analyzing its context, language, and themes. Both approaches have value, and you can blend them as you see fit. Next, choose a translation. The Bible was originally written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. Over centuries, it has been translated into thousands of languages. Some translations aim for word-for-word accuracy, while others prioritize readability. If you are new to the Bible, you might find translations like the New International Version, NIV, the English Standard Version, ESV, or the New Living Translation, NLT, approachable. More traditional versions like the King James Version, KJV, offer poetic language, but may be harder to understand. Some editions include study notes, introductions, and cross-references that can be helpful as you read. Once you have your Bible, set aside time and find a quiet place where you can focus. Reading the Bible is different from skimming a magazine or scrolling through social media. It requires attention, patience, and an open mind. Many find it helpful to begin with a prayer or a moment of reflection, asking for understanding and insight. As you begin to read, start with manageable sections. The Bible is a long and complex work, and trying to read it all at once can be overwhelming. You might choose to start with one of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, which tell the story of Jesus' life, teachings, and resurrection. Alternatively, you could begin with Genesis, the first book of the Old Testament, which lays the foundation for much of what follows. Psalms and Proverbs are collections of poetry and wisdom that many find accessible and uplifting. When you read a passage, take your time. Read it slowly, perhaps more than once. Notice the words and phrases that stand out to you. What images, emotions, or questions arise? If you encounter something confusing or challenging, don't be discouraged. The Bible is filled with layers of meaning, and even those who have studied it for decades continue to discover new insights. Context is crucial for understanding the Bible. Each book was written in a specific time, place, and culture. The customs, language, and worldview of ancient Israel or the early Christian church are often very different from our own. When you encounter a passage that seems strange or difficult, consider its historical and cultural context. Who wrote this text and to whom? What was happening in their world? What issues or challenges were they facing? Many Bibles include introductions to each book, explaining its background and main themes. Study Bibles provide footnotes, maps, and explanations of difficult passages. Commentaries, which are books written by scholars and theologians, can offer deeper insights. You don't need to consult these resources for every passage, but they can be invaluable when you encounter something puzzling. Pay attention to literary styles. The Bible contains many genres: stories, laws, poetry, prophecies, parables, and letters. Each genre has its own conventions and purposes. For example, the Psalms are prayers and songs full of emotion and metaphor. The Proverbs offer short, memorable sayings about wisdom and life. The Gospels blend biography, teaching, and narrative. The Book of Revelation uses vivid, symbolic imagery to convey its message. Recognizing the genre can help you interpret what you're reading. As you read, ask questions. What is the main message of this passage? What does it reveal about God, humanity, or the world? Are there repeated words, images, or themes? How does this passage connect to what comes before and after it? What questions or feelings does it raise in you? Writing down your thoughts and questions in a journal can help you engage more deeply with the text. Don't be afraid to wrestle with difficult passages. The Bible contains stories and teachings that can be challenging, confusing, or even troubling. Some passages reflect ancient customs or attitudes that differ from modern values. Others contain mysteries that are not easily explained. Rather than ignoring or glossing over these parts, bring your questions to them. Seek out trustworthy resources, talk with others, and be patient with yourself. Understanding often comes gradually as you return to the text over time. Consider reading with others. The Bible has been read and discussed in community for thousands of years. Joining a Bible study group, attending a class, or simply talking with a friend can enrich your understanding. Others may notice things you missed, offer different perspectives, or help you wrestle with tough questions. Many faith communities offer resources and opportunities for group study. As you read, pay attention to the big picture. The Bible tells a sweeping story, from creation to redemption, from brokenness to hope. Individual passages make the most sense when seen in light of the whole. What themes or patterns do you notice as you read? How do the different books and stories fit together? Many find it helpful to use a reading plan that guides them through the Bible in a year or focuses on key themes or sections. Personal application is also important. Many people read the Bible not just for information, but for transformation. As you read, ask yourself, what does this mean for my life today? How does this passage challenge, encourage, or inspire me? Are there attitudes or actions I need to reconsider? Are there promises to hold on to or warnings to heed? The Bible has shaped the lives of countless people, and it can speak to your life as well. It's also important to be aware of common pitfalls. One is taking verses out of context. It's easy to quote a single verse and make it mean something the original author never intended. Always read verses in context. Look at the surrounding passage, the chapter, and the book as a whole. Another pitfall is reading the Bible only to confirm what you already believe. Be open to being challenged, surprised, or changed by what you read. Another helpful strategy is to use different methods of Bible study. One common method is the inductive approach. Observe, interpret, and apply. First, observe what the text says. Who, what, when, where, how. Next, interpret. What does it mean? Finally, apply. How does it relate to my life? Other methods include thematic studies, character studies, or word studies, where you trace a theme, person, or concept throughout the Bible. Memorization can also be valuable. Many people find that memorizing key verses helps them recall wisdom and encouragement throughout daily life. Start with short, meaningful passages and repeat them regularly. Over time, these words can become a source of strength and guidance. Prayer is another important aspect for many readers. Whether you are religious or not, taking time to reflect, meditate, or pray as you read can open your heart and mind to new insights. Some find it helpful to pray the words of the Bible itself, using the Psalms or other prayers as a guide. Technology can be a great aid in Bible reading. There are many apps, websites, and podcasts that offer reading plans, audio Bibles, study tools, and commentaries. Listening to the Bible can be a different and powerful experience, allowing you to hear the rhythm and flow of the text. As you continue your journey, remember that understanding the Bible is a lifelong process. It is a book that can be read and reread, each time offering new insights. Don't be discouraged if you don't understand everything right away. Many people find that their understanding deepens over time as they grow and change. It's also helpful to be aware of the diversity within the Bible. The Old Testament includes the Torah, or law, which contains the foundational stories and laws of the people of Israel. The historical books recount the rise and fall of kingdoms, the wisdom books explore the meaning of life, and the prophets challenge injustice and offer hope. The New Testament includes the Gospels, the Acts of the Apostles, the letters of Paul and others, and the Book of Revelation. Each book has its own voice and perspective. Understanding the Bible also means being aware of its impact on history and culture. The Bible has shaped art, music, literature, law, and moral values for centuries. Its stories and phrases have entered everyday language. Knowing the Bible can help you understand not just religious traditions, but also the broader sweep of history and culture. If you are reading the Bible as a person of faith, you may see it as the inspired Word of God. If you are reading it from a secular or academic perspective, you may see it as a window into ancient cultures and ideas. Both approaches can yield rich insights. It is possible to appreciate the Bible's beauty, wisdom, and influence regardless of your beliefs. As you read, you may encounter different interpretations. Christians, Jews, and others have interpreted the Bible in diverse ways throughout history. There are many traditions, denominations, and schools of thought. It can be helpful to read from a variety of perspectives and to be respectful of differences. No one has a monopoly on understanding, and the Bible itself encourages humility and openness. Some readers find it helpful to keep a reading journal. As you read, jot down passages that strike you, questions that arise, and insights you gain. Over time, this record can become a valuable resource, helping you see your growth and the ways the Bible has spoken to you. If you are reading with children or teaching others, use age-appropriate materials and explanations. There are many children's Bibles and resources that present the stories and teachings in simple, engaging ways. Encourage questions and curiosity, and be honest about what you don't know. As you grow in your understanding, you may want to explore the original languages of the Bible: Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. There are resources, dictionaries, and courses available for those who wish to go deeper. Even a basic knowledge of these languages can enrich your reading. You may also want to explore the history of the Bible itself. How were its books written, collected, and transmitted? How did the canon, the list of accepted books, develop? What manuscripts and translations exist? The history of the Bible is a fascinating story in its own right. Throughout your journey, remember that the Bible is not just a book to be mastered, but a story to be entered, a conversation to be joined, and a mystery to be explored. It invites you to listen, to question, to reflect, and to respond. In summary, reading and understanding the Bible involves several key steps. 1. Clarify your purpose for reading. 2. Choose a translation that fits your needs. 3. Set aside regular time and find a quiet place. 4. Start with manageable sections, such as the Gospels or Psalms. 5. Read slowly and thoughtfully, paying attention to what stands out. 6. Consider the historical and cultural context. 7. Use study aids and resources when needed. 8. Pay attention to literary styles and genres. 9. Ask questions and reflect on what you read. 10. Read with others and discuss your insights. 11. Keep the big picture in mind. 12. Apply what you learn to your life. 13. Avoid common pitfalls, such as taking verses out of context. 14. Use different study methods to deepen your understanding. 15. Consider memorization and prayer as part of your reading. 16. Make use of technology and modern resources. 17. Be patient and persistent. Understanding comes over time. 18. Appreciate the diversity and impact of the Bible. 19. Respect different interpretations and traditions. 20. Keep a journal to track your journey. The Bible is a book that has changed lives, shaped cultures, and inspired countless acts of courage, compassion, and creativity. Whether you approach it as a sacred text, a literary masterpiece, or a historical document, it has much to offer. As you read, may you find wisdom, hope, and inspiration for your own journey. Remember, the journey of reading and understanding the Bible is personal and unique. There is no single right way to approach it. What matters most is that you engage with it honestly, thoughtfully, and with an open heart. Over time, you may find that the Bible not only informs your mind, but also shapes your character, deepens your relationships, and enriches your life. So, take the first step. Open the pages, begin to read. Let the words speak to you, challenge you, comfort you, and guide you. The adventure of understanding the Bible is one of the most profound journeys you can undertake, a journey that can last a lifetime and beyond.